Good afternoon. The Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privileges of the floor will retire to the gallery. The senators and all in attendance will please stand. We will be led in prayer by Bishop Joseph A. Chase, Jr. of Friendship Cathedral Church of God in Christ in Suffolk. Following the prayer, everyone will please remain standing. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America by our Senate page, Ruby Lackey of Hampton.
For this is the day that the Lord has made, and let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our Father, Lord God, as our Senate leaders begin this session, to set in proper order ways that will launch unbiasedly and impartially laws so to create stability and order within our great Commonwealth. We pray today that wisdom will be displayed in their fiduciary responsibilities, in their budgetary process, and implementations to uphold and create public policies as they collaborate with our executive leader for the good of all Virginians. Lord, let this House understand they are serving to lead. So at this time, to make the way clear, I rebuke the day of evil and cast the devil out of the minds of all. Though we have differences of opinion, let us stand firm to the fundamental truths that we are one state, one people, so that what is done in this House is done in decency and order. God bless this House, our governor, Madam Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Senate, elected delegates, and all who work hand in hand, employees, volunteers. We pray for harmony and peace. God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, and God bless these United States of America. Let this House say amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll. All those present, please vote aye. The clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Madam President. Senate Journal for Friday, February 18th, 2022.
The senator from Tazewell, Senator Hackworth, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of waiving the reading of the journal will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 35, noes 4.
Ayes 35, noes 4. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will now report any communications from the House of Delegates.
I do not have any, Madam President.
The clerk will report any communications from the governor.
I do not have any, Madam President.
Now comes the time in the morning hour when we get to hear about our distinguished guests in the gallery. Really, you're not a guest, I think, but a visitor, because you're coming to see your Senate in action. This is your Senate. And so we're glad you're here. And what will happen is your name will be called, the name individually or your group, and please rise at that time, and then you will be recognized, and we will hold our applause until after. And so with that, I now call on the senator, the gentleman from northern Chesapeake, the Kappa, Senator Spruill.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning, sir.
I stand to rise for introduction.
Yes, sir. You have the floor.
Madam President, today, invitation was given to us by Bishop Joseph A. Chase, Jr. of Friendship Cathedral Church of God in Christ in Suffolk, Virginia. He began his education at St. Joseph Military Academy in Delaware. Bishop Chase received a BA degree from Virginia Union University and ministry from Richmond and Virginia Seminary. Bishop Chase retired after 20 years of military service in the U.S. Navy, and he is the owner of Faith Broadcasting Company consisting of several radio stations throughout the U.S. Bishop Chase also is one of 15 national trustees of the Church of God in Christ. Bishop Chase and his wife, Dr. Catherine Chase, and their two sons live in Chesapeake. And I ask, Madam, will you please give them a well welcome?
Good morning again to you, or rather good afternoon, and to your lovely wife. We thank you so much for all that you're doing, and we know the list of all your accomplishments is extensive. And we thank you for your broadcast stations as well. Get the message out. And senators, please join us in giving him and his wife the warm welcome of the Senate. Chair now calls on the senior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Good afternoon, Madam President. I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, today I'm happy to welcome members of the Girl Scouts of the Colonial Coast and the Girl Scouts of the Commonwealth of Virginia. The Girl Scouts are the largest leadership program for the girls in the nation, serving 1.7 million girls nationwide, with more than 50,000 here in our Commonwealth. At every troop meeting or scout event, girls promise to serve God, their country, and help people at all times. They're dedicated to living by the Girl Scout law, aiming to be honest, fair, respectful, and a sister to every Girl Scout. Like many organizations, the Girl Scouts have experienced challenges since the onset of the pandemic. During a time when girls were experiencing increased level of anxiety, stress, loneliness, and depression, the Girl Scouts provided community consistency and a connection for girls finding ways to engage Scouts both virtually and in person. They've also found ways to continue their iconic annual Girl Scout cookie program, where girls team goal setting, money management, and business ethics. The Girl Scouts are helping build strong citizens, championing girl ambition, cultivating their talents, and helping them develop skills they need to become confident in their ability to make the world a better place. I applaud their dedication to girls' leadership and congratulate them on upcoming 110th anniversary. Madam President, please join me in welcoming the Girl Scouts to the Senate of Virginia.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and watching your Senate in action. As you know, our government is we the people. We the people. That means you, the people. Not the government, the people, but we, the people. You are our future leaders. We look forward to great things from you. Thank you for coming again. And senators, please let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. The chair recognizes the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, joining us in the gallery today are my 4 interns for this session. First, I'd like to introduce the body to Olive Blackstone. She's with VCU Capital Semester Program. She's a junior at VCU, majoring in criminal justice and psychology, which she's learning a lot from me about, and she hopes to one day work for the FBI. Secondly, joining us is Ethan Lynn. Ethan is a former Senate page. He's a senior at Patrick Henry High School in Ashland, where he's vice president of the student body, and he also works part-time at a grocery store and a restaurant, and he's been extremely helpful to me this session. You've probably been hearing a little bit about him out in the Twitter sphere. And then beyond that, I have 2 interns which are joining us remotely who work for my office remotely. Urvi Budwar, who came to us last year and is back with us this year, is a senior at VCU. She's a poli-sci major, international relations, also a criminal justice minor, and she's a constituent from Woodbridge. And she was also a member of my Young Leaders Institute in 2018. And she's been extraordinarily helpful 2 sessions now. And then finally, Kara Davis is my legislative fellow. She's a junior at William & Mary, a government major, minor in data science, which I don't even begin to understand. And outside of class, she works for the William & Mary radio station and conducts research for their geospatial lab and plays basketball. It's quite a combination, Madam President, but these interns have been very extraordinarily helpful for me in helping me move legislation through the process and keep up with constituents, and they're here volunteering their time, and I would hope you give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good morning to you in the gallery. I'm going to look down and I see that you're studying criminal justice. That's interesting, criminal and justice at the same time. And then, of course, vice president of your student body, so you know it's not always easy to please people, so that's good. Getting a head start on the legislative process. And we have your person who is majoring in international relations, and the other one, the other intern, she's a data science government major, and she probably heard about our cybersecurity attack, which is really real these days. So thank you for helping your senator and for helping us as well. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes the gentlelady from northwestern Fairfax County, Senator Boysko.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good afternoon.
Oh, thank you. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to introduce you all to members of the General Federation of Women's Clubs of Virginia. It's the oldest and largest women's organization in the state. There are nearly 80,000 members in affiliated clubs in every state in the United States, the District of Columbia, and more than a dozen countries. Women who are members of the GFWC work in their own communities to support the arts, preserve natural resources, advance education, promote healthy lifestyles, encourage civic involvement, which is what they're doing today, and work towards world peace and understanding. I would like to point out that I am a proud member myself of the Women's Fortnightly Club in Herndon, and I find that the women who are involved in this are on the scene, helping in our communities every single day, and I ask that you all give them a warm Senate welcome.
Good afternoon to you again. And as we've already said, the hand that rocks the cradle, that's us. And we thank you for your sacrifice. And the senator tells us that you work towards world peace. The one question I hoped I never got on the campaign trail. How do we achieve that? Obviously, you're working towards that. Thank you so very much. And senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. The chair recognizes Senator Reeves, the gentleman from Spotsylvania.
Thank you, Madam President. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Madam President, I rise just for a quick announcement, if I can.
The senator has the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the body and in the gallery, I had the distinct privilege on Saturday night to attend an event with the Iwo Jima Associations of America, and I attended that event with Madam President. And at that event, we heard from a gentleman named Woody Williams, and he was a Medal of Honor winner who not only survived, but exceptional heroism and valor in the face of all that they faced in that battle. And there were 9 other survivors of Iwo Jima that were there at that. And I remember what Woody Williams was saying as he was talking before they announced who would get the Woody Williams Award. And he said about our Lieutenant Governor, now that she has taken the dais, never fear, there's a Marine in charge. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, the first award winner of the Woody Williams Award for the Iwo Jima Association of America is our president. Madam President, you did a wonderful job representing the Senate of Virginia and our state and all of us here for your comments and your award. Congratulations, Madam President.
The true heroes are the many men and women who lost their lives in battle. And now the chair recognizes the gentleman, Mr. McDougall, senator from Hanover.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, in the gallery we have Melissa Haley and a group from the Hanover Chamber of Commerce Leadership Hanover. They were spent most of the morning with us. We had a great conversation earlier today and would ask that you offer them the warm welcome of the Senate and thank them for their service to Hanover and the business community.
Indeed, thank you for coming and thank you for your contributions that help our Commonwealth to be great, and your local community as well, and for your sacrifice. Thank you again. Senators, please give them the warm welcome of their Senate. The chair recognizes a gentlelady from Arlington, Senator Favola.
Thank you, Madam President, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I rise for the purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. In the gallery today is the family of Senate Page Caroline Lefton. Nicole Lefton, her mother's here, Mallory Lefton, and Caitlin Lefton should all be in the gallery. And they are here to observe firsthand the workings of the Senate, and I'm sure to hear directly from Caroline what it's like to be a page. I can just say to Caroline, I can say to your mother and sisters that everything is going very well, and Caroline's doing a terrific job. Thank you so much for joining us. Madam President, I ask that the Senate give Caroline's family a warm welcome. Thank you.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming, and we are taking very good care of your daughter, and she's not learning any bad habits. Senators, please give them the warm welcome, their Senate. Chair recognizes a senator from Fauquier, Senator Vogel.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam President, and congratulations again to you.
Thank you.
I rise for purposes of an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I have 2 guests in the Senate gallery this morning. I'm very, very excited that they're here. The first is Delilah Weschler. She is a 7th grader at the Hill School in Middleburg, Virginia. I know a lot about Delilah. Delilah is super fun. She's super social. She is super smart. And I understand that she's also interested in law and government. And I hope that that will still be the case after today, because she's coming to spend a day here with us in the Capitol. Delilah is also in the unusual situation of being a 7th grader in the class with my son, Taz, who is known to some of you, and some of you were actually in committee with me recently when his teacher called because he was in trouble, so you guys know him, and poor Delilah suffers through that class with him. Delilah is also here with her dad, who is a wonderful person. His name is Greg Masuki. He is really well known in the community where I live for lots of reasons. First, Madam President, you'll be happy to know that he's a realtor. That will make you happy. But more than that, he is very, very well known for being an advocate for the disability community, for education, for those in the disability community, and most of all, for the fact that he and his wife, Maya, started a farm called A Farm Less Ordinary. And if you Google it and read about it, it is incredibly inspiring. And they create an opportunity and an environment and a community for young people with disabilities to come and have a place to be welcome and to work and to be productive and to work in a place where it is kind to the environment, and they produce a great amount of food and participate in agriculture, and it is something that I'm incredibly proud of. But most of all, proud that they got to be here today. So I would ask for you, Madam President, to please extend to them the very warm welcome of the Senate. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for coming. And you've come to the right place, young lady, to hear about law and government at the same time. Hope to see you one day out here on the floor. And then, sir, thank you for all that you're doing for those who are not able. And what we've already heard this morning is that many of you sacrifice for those who are not able either. And it's one of the beauties of America that makes other countries ponder. So thank you for all that you do. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. The chair recognizes the junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator Kiggins.
Madam President, I rise for purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, it's an honor to introduce 13 students and their chaperones from the Youth for Understanding exchange program today. Youth for Understanding is a nonprofit international educational organization with partners in more than 60 different countries. They're one of the world's oldest, largest, and most respected intercultural exchange programs for 70 years, and with more than 270,000 students worldwide supported by host families, volunteers, schools, and communities. Millions of YFU participants have shared a vision for generations of empowered global citizens for a more peaceful and sustainable world. The YFU Global Network is united by the belief that full cultural immersion is the most effective means to gain the skills needed to thrive in an increasingly multicultural, interconnected, and competitive global society. Today we have students from the countries of Austria, Italy, Thailand, Estonia, Spain, China, France, Hungary, Indonesia, and Japan with us today. And this group of YFU students is especially important to me and an honor to introduce you all, because I was a YFU exchange student as well when I was in high school, and I did an exchange tour in Japan, and then my host sister came and lived with us for a year, and we had many, many other exchange students from Japan. I loved it so much that I went back and taught English as an assistant English teacher after college for a year and was stationed there with the military by request because I love Japan and consider it to be my second home. So I just know the impact that my exchange program had on me. I think of it, and it inspires me in my political career as well. So I hope that you all have similar experiences. I'm so glad you got to visit us today for a tour of your capital in Virginia. Have a great exchange year, and please, Madam President, give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. And speaking of world peace and that elusiveness of it sometimes, this is excellent that you're here. You're involved in cultural exchange, which if people know each other, then they're less likely to enter into hostilities. And so thank you very much for wanting to be here and observe us as well. And senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate, of the Senate. Chair recognizes the gentlelady, the senior senator from Chesterfield, Senator Hashmi.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. This morning we're joined by several educators, and I'm delighted to introduce Jeff Davis, who is chairman of the Virginia Association of Colleges and Teacher Educators. The Virginia Association of Colleges and Teacher Educators combines representation from the Association of Teacher Educators and the Association of Colleges of Teacher Education, all speaking as one voice for over 30 colleges and schools of education, as well as individual teacher educators. This organization collaborates closely with its outstanding school division partners, statewide professional associations, as well as parent-teacher groups to support, strengthen, and advance the work of preparing high-quality pre-service educators who will serve in our Commonwealth's excellent pre-K through 12 public and private schools. This morning, Jeff is also joined by his colleagues, Willis Walter, who's Dean of Education of the College of Education at VSU, and Larvell Jones, who is Instructor of Education at Sweetbriar. Joining them also is David Bailey from Capital Connections. And Madam President, I ask that we give the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for all that you're doing. And we certainly do need our teachers because they really help us to become the nation that we need to remain an educated people. And especially in the younger years, we thank you in those formative years. And senators, let us give him the warm welcome of his Senate. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Augusta, Senator Hanger.
Thank you, Madam President. I was a gentleman this morning. Thank you. Madam President, I rise for purpose of an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm pleased that we have a group with us today from James Madison University, a group of student leaders. And as you know, James Madison University has become very popular now. We have over 22,000 students, and they are the second largest institution in Virginia for graduating nurses and teachers. Many applicants are denied admission to JMU because they become so popular. Fortunately, many who choose JMU as their first choice are able still to attend William & Mary, University of Virginia, and others that would be their second choice. So we are glad for that opportunity that they have. We have Xavier Williams, who's the student representative to JMU's Board of Visitors, Jasani Collier, the student body president, Kayla Edwards, a student assistant to the Office of Student Affairs, and Raymond Curtis, president of JMU's Student Veterans of America organization. They're accompanied by Dr. Tim Miller, JMU's Vice President of Student Affairs, and Carson Linnell, Special Assistant to the Vice President. Madam President, I would ask you to extend to this group the warm greetings of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. At over 22,000 students, you're larger than so many cities, in fact, some counties as well. You are a force unto yourselves, and I know you know that. Thank you for all that you do, your service, indeed, Madam President, and the rest of your representatives. Thank you. And senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Enrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm so happy that today we have with us some of my constituents, families who are taking advantage of President's Day to come and see how their government works and keep an eye on us. So, Madam President, I hope that you can welcome to the gallery today Ann Creasy, Jenna Creasy, Helen Creasy, Harrison Hunn, and Townsend Hunn. And Madam President, Ann Creasy has a special relationship with us here because she used to work with Senator McDougal from Hanover. So she really has a lot to teach her kids about how things work. Thank you, Madam President. I hope you'll offer them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you and welcome back. And I hope that you will see in the arguing, the friendly arguing that we do here, that we get the business of your great state done. And senators, let's give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Is there any other business for the morning hour? Hearing none, the clerk will now call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Monday, February 21st, 2022. Uncontested calendar, House bills on third reading.
The chair calls on the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I move that all House bills on third reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 1 through 13, that's House Bill 16 through 1345, be advanced to their final passage in a block after the adoption of any amendments thereto, and any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill.
The question is, shall House bills on the uncontested calendar, third reading, pages 1 through 13, House Bill 16 through 1345, be placed upon their final passage in a block after the adoption of any amendments, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will now read the number of the bills.
House Bill 16, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary with a substitute.
The chair recognizes Senator Edwards, the gentleman from Roanoke City.
Madam Chair, Madam President, I move that the substitute be approved.
The question is, shall the substitute be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
House Bill 17, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 81, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with amendments.
The gentlelady from Lucas, from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the committee amendments be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendments are agreed to.
House Bill 140, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
The gentleman from Southern Fairfax County, Senator Barker.
Madam President, I move that the substitute from the committee be adopted.
The question is, shall the substitute be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is adopted.
House Bill 216, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. House Bill 230, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 242, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 246, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 283, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 342, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 370, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 381, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
The gentleman from Southern Fairfax County, Senator Barker.
Madam President, I move that the committee amendment substitute be adopted. Thank you.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is adopted.
House Bill 409, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Edwards, the gentleman from Roanoke City.
Madam President, I move that the amendment from the Committee on the Judiciary be adopted.
Question is, shall the committee amendment be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendment is adopted.
House Bill 418, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 429, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Barker, the gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that the committee amendment be adopted.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendment is adopted.
House Bill 449, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 470, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. House Bill 555, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 598, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 604, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 659, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 678, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 719, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Edwards, the gentleman from Roanoke City.
Madam President, I move that the amendment from the Committee on the Judiciary be adopted.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendment is adopted.
House Bill 738, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 741, reported from the Committee on Education and Health. House Bill 748, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 764.
Madam President.
Hello. Gentleman from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Thank you, President. The first day with the new lips. I'm working on that. Thank you, Madam President. Can House Bill 764 come out of the block for purposes of an abstention? Thank you very much.
Without objection, House Bill 764, page 10, is out of the block.
We'll come back to the sub. Got it. House Bill 782, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary with amendments.
The gentleman from Southern Fairfax County, Senator Barker. I'm sorry. The gentleman from Roanoke City, Senator Edwards.
Madam President, I move that the committee amendments be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendments are agreed to.
House Bill 979, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute.
The gentlelady from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the substitute be agreed to.
Question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
House Bill 1019, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. House Bill 1022, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with amendments.
Again, the gentlelady from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas.
Madam President. Madam President, I move that the amendment be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendments are agreed to.
House Bill 1304, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendments.
Gentleman from Southern Fairfax County, Senator Barker.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the committee amendments be adopted.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The committee amendments are agreed to.
House Bill 1318, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 1320, reported from the Committee on the Judiciary. House Bill 1345, reported from the Committee on Education and Health.
The question is, shall the House bills pass en bloc? That is, all bills except for House Bill 764 on page 10. All in favor?
Madam President.
Gentlelady from Chesterfield, Senator Chase.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm not sure if on page 10, House Bill 764, if that bill has been pulled out of the block. But
yes, ma'am, that's the bill.
Wonderful, thank you.
All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Returning to page 10, House Bill 764, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Barker, the gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the committee substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to. The gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that the bill pass. And speaking to the bill.
Yes, sir. You have the floor.
Madam President, this is very similar to Senate Bill 394, which we adopted unanimously in the Senate, 36-1 with 3 abstentions. And I would hope it would be the pleasure of the body to approve this bill as well.
The chair recognizes the gentlelady from. Okay. The question is, shall the bill be agreed to? Those in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 36, noes 1, Rule 36-3.
Ayes 36, noes 1, Rule 36-3. The bill passes.
Regular calendar, House bills on third reading. House Bill 4, a bill relating to school principals' incident reports, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with amendments.
Chair recognizes Senator Lucas, the gentlelady from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the amendment be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The amendments are agreed to. Senator Lucas.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President, speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Yes, ma'am. This is relating to school principal incidents. I think this is the bill that started out being Senator Norman's bill. Madam President, I guess I need to move that the bill pass.
Yes, ma'am.
Even though I'm a nay. So, Madam President, I move that the bill pass.
For what purpose does the gentleman from James City County rise?
Speaking to the bill, please, Madam.
The senator has the floor.
With all due respect to my friend from Portsmouth, we're all entitled to make a mistake once in a while on a piece of legislation, but I would join in asking that it would pass with the adoption of the amendment that the senator from Portsmouth requested to be included. The bill will mirror Senate Bill 36, which was reported out by the Senator of Virginia.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 27, noes 13.
Ayes 27, noes 13. The bill passes.
House Bill 213, a bill relating to optometrist laser surgery, reported from the Committee on Education and Health.
Chair recognizes Senator Lucas, gentlelady from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the bill pass.
Yes, ma'am.
And speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President, we had several iterations of this bill before it finally passed, but as I understand it now, this is not invasive surgery, and so we were convinced to pass the bill. So with just that little brief explanation, I move that the bill pass.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Speak to the bill.
Senator has the floor.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, this is identical to Senate Bill 375 that we pushed out of here, I think, on a 36-3 vote. And so without having to rehash all the details, it simply gives optometrists the ability to do very limited non-invasive surgery, as my gentlelady colleague from Portsmouth has described. Thank you.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed will record their votes no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 33, noes 5, Rule 36-1.
Ayes 33, noes 5, Rule 36-1. The bill passes.
House Bill 756, a bill relating to bail for a person accused of a crime that is an act of violence. Notice to Attorney for the Commonwealth. Reported from the Committee on the Judiciary.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Roanoke City, Senator Edwards.
Madam President, I move that House Bill 756 pass.
Yes, sir.
And by way of explanation, Madam,
the gentleman has the floor.
The bill got a strong vote, but other than that, what it does is whenever a person is charged with a crime of violence is given bail, the attorney for the Commonwealth will be notified. That's about all it does. With that explanation, I move the bill pass.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 37, noes 2.
Ayes 37, noes 2. The bill passes.
House Bill 887, a bill relating to transfer on death deed, conveyance of cooperative interest. Reported from the Committee on the Judiciary with amendment.
The gentleman from Roanoke City, Senator Edwards.
Madam President, have we adopted the amendment? I guess we did. No, I move that the amendment be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to. Senator Edwards.
Now, Madam President, I move that the House Bill 887 pass. And by way of explanation,
Chair, the gentleman has the floor.
Madam President and members of the Senate, this is an unusual situation regarding transfers on death deeds. And it applies to an unusual situation involving cooperative interests. And so it's affixed to that obscure issue. And with that explanation, I move the bill pass.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, no 0, Rule 36-1.
Ayes 38, no 0, Rule 36-1. The bill passes.
Uncontested calendar, House bills on second reading.
Chair calls on the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I move that all House bills on second reading on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 15 through 23, that's House Bill 40 through House Bill 1053, that the rules be suspended and the first constitutional reading of the titles, or the second constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
There are 28 bills in this section. The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the second reading of the titles of House bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 15 through 23, House Bill 40 through House Bill 1053, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Chair again recognizes the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I now move that those bills go by for the day.
The question is, shall the House bills on the uncontested and regular calendars now on their third reading go by for the day? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills will go by for the day.
Uncontested calendar, House Joint Resolution on third reading. House Joint Resolution 145, endorsing the framework of the statewide strategic plan for higher education developed by the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia as the Commonwealth's Vision and Plan for Higher Education report. Reported from the Committee on Education and Health.
Chair recognizes Senator Lucas, the gentlelady from Portsmouth.
Yes, ma'am, Madam President. Madam President, I yield to the gentlelady from Hampton, Senator Locke.
Senator Locke.
Thank you, Madam President. Speaking to the resolution.
The senator has the floor.
I move that House Joint Resolution 145 be agreed to. And speaking to that.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, this is identical to the Senate Joint Resolution that passed that simply adopts the State Council of Higher Education resolution that adopts their higher education plan and vision for the next 6 years.
The question is, shall the resolution be adopted? Those in favor will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The resolution is agreed to. Chair again recognizes the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I inquire of the clerk, Senate Clerk, does that complete the calendar?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Northwestern Fairfax County, Senator Boysko.
Thank you, Madam President. May we return to the morning hour, please?
Without objection.
Thank you. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are very honored to have members of the Adams Center here, including Imam Majid and Rizwan Jaka and Tarek. These wonderful gentlemen work and help our Muslim community in Northern Virginia in the Herndon, Sterling area. They are very involved in our community, helping those who have been less fortunate, reaching out to others to help with health care, but also providing a wonderful spiritual guidance in our community. I love visiting. It's one of my very favorite places in my district, and I ask that you give them a warm Senate welcome.
We thank you, gentlemen, for what you do in the community to help others, especially the less fortunate. We've heard so much today of those who find ways to help, who actually sacrifice, because that's what you're doing when you're helping, you sacrifice. So thank you very much. And please, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, let us give them a warm welcome. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Prince William, Senator McPike.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Today in the gallery, we're joined by members of the Dar al-Noor Muslim community in Manassas. I'm proud to represent them. They do just absolutely fantastic work, reaching out throughout the community in so many different ways. In fact, this past August, the General Assembly passed a resolution commending Dar al-Noor for their incredible community response during the pandemic. I won't read the whole resolution, but I'd like to highlight, as of August of 2021, aside from hosting multiple vaccine town halls, distributing information about COVID-19, they regularly provided groceries to over 300 families and provided over 35,000 hot meals, regardless of status, throughout Prince William County. And I'm very honored to represent this incredible center. So many friends there who continue to extend a helping hand to all of those in our community, Madam President. And with that, please provide them with a warm welcome of the Senate.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming. I tell you, I hear all that you did with COVID during the COVID time, especially the harder times, and it wrecked so many of us, but you stepped in and helped. And thank you so very much for that help. And ladies and gentlemen, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. The chair recognizes the senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman may continue.
Thank you, Madam President. And
Happy President's Day to you. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, boundaries, areas of influence, educated expertise, and personal space. And no, I'm not talking about these cages. I am speaking about a member of this collegial chamber who had the sheer audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to invade sacrosanct space on the 6th floor of the Pocahontas building. Several employees came to me to ask if I had been singing Beatles tunes on the 6th floor. No, I had not. The musical interloper was none other than the gentleman from Fairfax City. And Madam President, while he is considered by many to be a basketball, rugby, legislative, and legal legend, this time he was swimming in the wrong lane. Madam President, if he has the courage to accept a contest, I hereby challenge Senator Peterson to a sing-off. Just him and me. Just name the time and the place. Thank you, Madam President.
The chair recognizes the responder, Senator Peterson, the gentleman from Fairfax City.
Thank you, Madam President. Challenge accepted. I will see you Thursday night, 9 p.m., 2nd floor of Penny Lane, and it's going to be a hard day's night for you, okay?
The senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Challenge accepted, Madam President, and I tell the gentleman, practice.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from northern Chesapeake, Senator Spruill.
Thank you, Madam President. The announcement.
The senator may continue.
Madam President, immediately after the full Committee of Commerce and Labor will meet today, there will be a subcommittee meeting immediately afterward. Subcommittee on Energy will meet immediately after the full Committee of Commerce and Labor today. Thank you.
Is there any other business to come before the Senate? All right. The clerk will now report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Monday, February 21st, 2022, the Committee on Commerce and Labor will meet 30 minutes after adjournment in Senate Room A, Pocahontas. This is a time change. The Committee on Commerce and Labor will meet 30 minutes after adjournment. The Commerce and Labor Subcommittee on Energy will meet upon adjournment of the Committee on Commerce and Labor in Senate Room A, Pocahontas. Senators Spruill, Norman, Newman, Lucas, and Marsden. The Education and Health Subcommittee on Higher Education will meet 1/2 hour after adjournment in Subcommittee Room 2, 5th floor, Pocahontas. Senators Locke, Peterson, Cosgrove, Hashmi, and Pillion. Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. The Committee on Finance and Appropriations will meet at 9:00 a.m. in Committee Room B, Pocahontas. The Democratic Caucus will meet at 11 o'clock in Senate Room 1 in the Capitol, and the Republican Caucus will meet at 11:15 a.m. in Senate Room 2 in the Capitol.
The chair now calls on Senator Lucas, the senator from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 12 noon on tomorrow.
The question is, shall the Senate adjourn until 12 o'clock noon tomorrow? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate is adjourned until 12 o'clock noon tomorrow.